welcome to Home Sweet Homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And in today's video, I'm going to give you a flip through of the Real Pirates of the Caribbean, a unit from Campfire curriculums. Now, if you caught my video from last week where I shared how we love this unit and shared some activities from it, I promised you that I would link the flip through down in the description box. For some reason, I thought I'd already filmed this, and I very well could have and deleted it from my phone. I have no idea. So here's the flip through of it. What I do want to say though, before we begin, is if you go and purchase this now from Campfire Curriculums, or if you've already purchased it and you re-download it, they have revamped this unit. They have changed some of the wording. They've added different graphics. It looks different. So I want to go ahead and put that out there that if you buy it now, or you re-download it, it is going to look a little bit different. I had already printed mine and I did not want to go back and reprint. We were just really excited to get into the unit and it wasn't important enough for me to go back and reprint it. It was perfectly fine the way it was. So what I did do is I pulled up the new one on my computer screen and I just went through, and where they changed words, I just wrote it in. And I know it's going to bother some of you, but to me it did not bother me. I'm pretty laid back like that. So I just wrote in where the words changed. The graphics did not concern me at all. That wasn't important to me. But if you want the revamped one, you can go re-download or you can purchase it today when you watch this video, and you're going to get the revamped one. So I'm going to show you what our copy looks like. You are going to see my handwriting in it because, like I said, I went in and changed the wording where they changed the wording. Okay, so this was printed at home. You can purchase these on their website, and I will link that below. They all come as a PDF, and then you can print a notebook for all of your children. I only have one son, so I printed him the middle school, and I just read out of it. There is an adult notebook that you can look through and you can print if you want to. I just keep mine on my iPad in case we need it, but normally his workbook works just fine for us to use it. So let's get started on this flip through. Let me make sure we're in frame. Yes. Okay. So they all kind of start off like this. A note about how this works. In case you're new to it, you definitely want to read this. So this is what my table of contents looks like. There are 5 lessons. I think I might have said that there were 6, but there are 5 lessons. The Most Notorious Pirates, Blackbeard, Hero versus Villain, Looting, and Treasure. So this is really a simple unit if you're looking for something quick. If you're looking to add it to something else, you can add it to the Islander Life unit that they have, or you can just use it on its own like we did. And so as you can see, I have went in and wrote things in, things that were added to or words that were changed. I wrote it in. So there were a couple of things different, but I just want you to see how it is laid out. So this is all about the book, A General History of the Robberies and Murders of the Most Notorious Pirates. This talks about who the author was, or who they think the author was. There's a place for thoughts. Those places I don't always make my son write. We just usually talk about it. And I don't know why I wrote the think tank here, because it's actually on this page here. So there is a think tank where it's just a lot of good questioning so that you and your family can talk about it. And then this activity was a lot of fun. This is writing a pirate story. My son just did it on another sheet of paper, so that's why this isn't written in. And then you have a faith talk, which I always love. The great thing about Campfire Curriculums is they are so wonderful at connecting what you're learning to things in the Bible, and I love the faith talk. And then you have the lessons learned for lesson 1. And I did add that in. That was not something I had printed originally, so I did go back and add that. So that's why this page is blank. This is all about Blackbeard, and we ended up reading who was Blackbeard along with this to learn more about him. And if you see things like this, like blank pages, that is a printer. Me as the printer, I'm talking about me. That was something that I did. So anyway, ignore that. Then this is again about Blackbeard. So you're learning about new information about his identity, connection to the USVI for In the Steps of an Islander. And if you want more information, they have somewhere you can go. And then you have your faith talk, and then there was an activity. So this activity was about how to create that smoky look that Blackbeard gave off. So there's a video you can watch, and then there's an activity you can do. And then your lessons learned. This was the hero versus villain. It gave two accounts or two stories about the same man. One considered him a hero and one considered him a villain. And this was a very interesting lesson. We really enjoyed it. And it was all about Sir Francis Drake. So if you're going to talk about explorers or anything like that, you may want to look at this lesson. The activity time was to create a treasure map. We went and looked at maps. And so this was a very fun activity to do. Then your faith talk and your lessons learned. Then you had looting, not just for men. So we learned about Calico Jack and some lady pirates, and how you could not be a lady and be a pirate. So they had to dress up as men. So we learned a lot there. And it talks about how pirates made their money from plundering, what was their treasure, and then who do you think was valiant, brave, and noble, and who do you think was vicious, cruel, and vile? So it talked about pirates, merchant slave traders, and African slave traders. And then this is about looting, your faith talk, and then your lessons learned. Treasure, is it still out there? So we read the story of Sam Bellamy, which is actually a very sad story. We read this. It did compare him to Robin Hood, and we talked about, was Robin Hood good or bad? What do you think? Is stealing ever okay? Those are some really good things to talk about. And it does talk about the tragic end and the treasure. You can look up some pictures of real treasure and the ship that was found. And then you have activity here where you can go and look for treasure. You have somewhere near you can go and do that. But we did this activity where we hid our treasure in the backyard, and my husband made up clues, and he went and found some treasure of his own. And then there's a faith talk. Lessons learned. And then they always put a little thank you note kind of at the end. We hope you enjoyed it. That's what that says. And then there is a riddle. You'll always find a riddle in there for the appendix. And then this is just lesson, like it'll tell you which lesson to use it for, little snippets that came from that book that you can read through. And then I also printed some maps for us to look at as well. So this was the Real Pirates of the Caribbean. I want to apologize that it wasn't ready for the video that I put out this past week, but here it is. This is the flip through. Let me know if this is a unit that you're excited to try, or what Campfire unit you would love to try. We love using them in our home, and this was a good way to start out this new school year. If you like homeschool content, unit studies, anything to do with homeschool, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you so much for watching.